The European Union does lots of things, but being a 27-nation institution, it doesn't do them quickly. EU leaders meet in Brussels later this week for their 4th summit this year and 22nd crisis summit since 2010. This is their latest attempt to resolve the Eurozone crisis and forge closer economic and political integration. We've become used to hearing that the next summit is the most important one since the last summit. But analysts at Citigroup say this doesn't apply this time around. And Luke Baker, Reuters bureau chief in Brussels, agrees.
It's always the quiet build-ups that sometimes end up producing the best fights. I mean, I think in one respect it's true. I mean, it really, so many of these issues have become sort of the chronic issues, if you like, of the Eurozone debt crisis rather than acute problems. And so they're dealing with quite sort of, some very nitty-gritty, quite, some would say airy-fairy issues about restructuring economic and monetary union and banking union, fiscal union. There's nothing to really get your teeth into, and there's not a train smash for the financial markets.
Let's look at what's likely to be on the agenda. Long-term goals such as banking union, a common Eurozone budget and fiscal integration. And earlier this week, German Finance Minister Wolfgang Schäuble called for changes to the EU treaty to allow for a currency commissioner with wide-ranging powers over national budgets. Of more immediate interest to markets, though, will be news on Spain and Greece. Is Madrid any closer to requesting aid? And just how far off track is Athens on meeting its deficit targets? And as National Australia Bank's Tom Vosa asks, will any leeway given to these countries be offered to others?
What we want to find out is, given the IMF has given everybody a nod and a wink to end austerity, do we see comments about the need for a medium-term fiscal framework and perhaps some signs that policy will be loosened in France, in Germany, in the Netherlands, core Europe, growing Europe, but if they can perhaps ease fiscal policy, then the Eurozone as a whole might grow a little bit better in 2013.
Much has been done in previous summits, and the ECB stands ready to buy the bonds of troubled countries. So the foundations for a reconstructed Europe have been laid. The building work continues. Jamie McGeever for Reuters.